This video is brought to you by Ghost in the Shell First Assault. The Fallout series features some of the deepest and most disturbing lore in all of video games. Prepare to feel bad as we're going to run you through the most stomach-churning tales of murder, disfiguration, and betrayal you can find in Fallout 4. Where do robo-brains come from? The lore behind the production of robo-brains is as old as Fallout itself, but if you read through the terminal entries in the Robco Sales and Service Center in the Automatron DLC, you'll see the process described in more upsettingly vivid detail than ever before. The reason it looks like robo-brains have real human brains in them is because those brains were cut from perfectly healthy human bodies belonging to prisoners convicted of everything from murder to arson. The terminal entry describes everything about the process. I mean, everything. One entry describes the brain extraction process, in which engineers complain of problems like a popped blade from slicing through a particularly tough skull, or the hydraulics in the pulling arm seize up when the spinal cord isn't fully severed and the brain is pulled too early. Another terminal talks about the process of integrating the brains into their new robotic bodies. The people are blind and completely unaware of what has happened to them. Some panic, and others swear revenge. All of this is just a test to see if the brains are suitable for use. The subjects who miraculously retain their sanity through inspection will have their memories wiped and their brains reprogrammed to take orders unquestioningly. The ones who don't will be dumped in the furnace, just like the discarded bodies. Welcome to the Pikmin Gallery. Oh, cool, an art gallery. This seems nice. Nope, no it is not. Nope. This particular artist, Pikmin, deals in displaying serial murder in new and chilling ways. Caskets, gore bags, heads on pikes. This is Pikmin's art. The sheer volume of buckets of blood on the ground make the gallery's bright red front door a little more upsetting. As you work your way through the gallery, you see grisly arrangements of body parts and paintings with a clear theme of the color red. You also happen to notice some very upset raiders, since the arrangement in this gallery are made up primarily of their fallen comrades. It's not hard to see why. At the end of your journey, you'll find a gang ready to pounce on a single civilian in a brown suit. Obviously, raiders are bad, and so anyone they're attacking is probably worth saving, right? Well, you just saved Pikmin himself, the soothing psychopath responsible for these grisly murders and their post-mortem arrangement. He gives you his heartfelt appreciation, the unique weapon Pikmin's blade, and a thank you note. He seems to think that you're one and the same, since you're both indiscriminate butchers of raiders and their kin. The maze maker of Milton General Hospital. The garage at the Milton General Hospital has been turned into a giant maze, adorned with arrows, question marks, and the corpses of those who have fallen victim to many traps. The psychopaths responsible seems to have a fascination with heads. You have your standard heads on pikes, but there's also some unusual setups, like the head on the end table next to its body mangled in barbed wire. The Best in the Show award probably goes to the head as a Christmas tree topper, but it isn't just there for art, it's there to distract you from the gun turret sitting right in front of it. There aren't any quests associated with the garage, and in fact the location isn't even marked on your map, so if you traverse the deadly maze, don't expect much closure. What you will get is one final trap. At the end of the maze, you'll see two closed jail cells, both containing some high-end loot for your trouble. The problem is, once you choose one, the content of the other cell will explode. The Phantom of Fens Street. Not much is known about the Fens Phantom, but it is strongly hinted that he is a pre-war serial killer. Like with Pikmin, the Fens Phantom uses his little slice of heaven, in this case a sewer labyrinth a few blocks from Diamond City, to arrange bodies into dark, sadistic displays of death art. From a skeleton holding a fishing pole, dangling its own skull on the line, to a child-sized skeleton with a cow skull wearing a top hat, there are plenty of creative uses of cadavers in the Fens Phantom lair. However, unlike with Pikmin's Gallery, there is no climactic face-off with the murderer. In fact, the only evidence you have of the man even existing is a series of 4 audio tapes labeled Dear Detective. In these tapes, the Phantom describes his reclusive lifestyle and his rejection of society at large. He says the sewer is the only place I can be myself, and that he has put his work on display down here, and wants the detective to see it. He admits that the detective has become a fascination for him.
Down here, I really get to live. I'm happy to share it with you today, detective.
You never see the Fens Phantom or the detective he made the tapes for, and what happens to the two of them is unclear. However, you get a hint on the final tape that things may not have turned out well for the detective.
I didn't want to hurt you, but you hurt me first. It doesn't matter anymore. Now, you're here with me. And we have all the time in the world to get to know each other.
The sisters, Lily and Red, are sisters who headed a band of raiders. Tower Tom is a rival gang leader who kidnapped Lily and demanded a constant supply of food as ransom to keep her alive. Problem is, Tower Tom accidentally killed Lily. He begins forging the notes to her big sister Red to keep the food supply coming. Now Red notices something's a bit off with the notes, but desperate to get her sister alive, continues sending supplies. After the player clears out the Beantown Brewery location, Red's gang searches it and finds no sign of Lily. The only way Red's search ends is if the player invades her base and kills her. She's doomed to a fate either of searching for a lost sister forever, or dying never knowing what happened to her. That may be for the best, since Tower Tom actually hid Lily's body in one of the brewery vats, and there's no indication of what else was in that vat, or if it was still operational. The Conchords speakeasy mannequins. It's not hard to find mannequins set up in some unusual locations around the Commonwealth, but the scene that plays out in the Conchords speakeasy is by far the most depraved. You see the skeleton of a man laying in bed with a female mannequin on one arm and some drugs in reach of his other. That's weird, but move into the bathroom and things get a lot more twisted. There's another skeleton. This one is sitting upright in a bathtub and it's missing its head, and it's surrounded by 3 nude male mannequins. 2 are wielding machetes and the other is holding a plunger. The plunger seems like a joke until you notice the skull in the toilet. There is truly no explanation for this setup. We don't even know the gender of the headless corpse in the tub. Did the man kill someone close to him and set up the mannequins himself? Or did someone come by and set this up later? These are some of the most twisted, depraved stories that Fallout has to offer, but there are definitely plenty more, so be sure to let us know if you have any in the comments below. As always, this is Dash for Curse saying thanks for watching and enjoy the game. This video was brought to you by Ghost in the Shell First Assault. Play the open beta now on Steam. To find out more about this game, check out the videos on the left or visit firstassaultgame.com.